What are we doing here right by the Rhine?
Well, we have a lovely brand new vehicle arriving again.
All right, we've got the brand new, brilliant and incredibly amazing ORA 07 already set up and ready for you to use. It is now available to order starting at 41,990 euros with 3 trim levels, 2 engine options and 2 battery sizes. And we'll tell you everything about this amazing new vehicle, what it can really do, how it drives on different roads and how it looks from all angles. And I would say before we start, please check if you're already part of the electric community. If not, we'd be thrilled if you support us with a subscription because in a few weeks we'll have the charging check with the consumption drive and a road trip with the ORA 07. Let's not waste any time. We have the GT with 408 HP and we're starting off. As always, we begin from the outside. Let's look at the front section of the brand new 07. Here we have a similarity with the Porsche Panamera with a flat nose that rises slightly over the front hood. On the GT with all-wheel drive, we can call it a hood, and the highest point is almost right behind the A-pillar. Yes, the beautiful delineations here, mainly known from Porsche, are refined. We have LED headlights with high and low beam functions and a crystal inside, plus the daytime running light that looks amazing. In the 911, the blinker is integrated into the headlight and in the 07 as well. If Stefan comes around here, we have a great exterior color. Stefan, what's it called? The side profile highlights sleek lines emphasizing its sporty demeanor. The 19-inch alloy wheels add aggressiveness. Aerodynamic side mirrors reduce drag. At the rear, pronounced wheel arches give the 07 a powerful presence. The LED taillights span the car's width. An integrated spoiler on the trunk lid enhances the sporty look and aids aerodynamics. Exhausts blend seamlessly with the bumper, forming a smooth yet aggressive rear profile. The trunk provides ample storage and is electronically operated for convenience. Stefan, let's show the spacious interior, perfect for trips.
Dream Space Purple.
That means it's such a nice violet color. And here with the GT version, you have 19-inch rims as standard, 235 45 R19 in a sort of glossy gray. Painting, that looks really, really cool. It's a bit different, very dynamic, but also extraordinarily efficiently optimized for better performance. Design, yeah, if we continue with the silhouette, we also have these beautiful contours. In the bodywork here, I really like that. ORA places a high importance on maintaining superior quality. And when you look at the whole car and first hear the price, starting at 41,099 euros, you think, oh my God, what's coming? You get tons of premium gear. Yeah, right here at the B pillar is the highest point, 1.50 meters, and then it slopes down nicely and is extended, giving the car a sleek and aerodynamic profile, coupe-like. They say it's a fleece hack design, but soon later on, we will come to clearly understand that in the trunk there is actually something entirely surprising and different hidden behind all of that. All right, let's get to the hacking part of the 487-meter-long ORA 07. We've almost got a Bentley look here, don't we?
Oh yes, nicely with the flared one.
And again here, if you take a closer look at the LED headlights, really cool design features. That ultimately means we don't merely have a typical Chinese car, but we have true automotive perfection and craftsmanship here. And I'll definitely show you that later too. There's even a rear spoiler hidden back here, which you might not have noticed before. Wow, that means it's supposed to add an impressive and significant 20 kilos of extra downforce right here on the GT. That's really great. It's 1.86 meters wide plus side mirrors, 1.50 meters high. And even for an electric car, I find it relatively flat. Yes, we have a wheelbase of 2.87 meters, Stefan, if you come around a bit. And before we move on to more technical and intricate details, a quick note about Great Wall Motors. Great Wall Motors has been in the media recently because they are ostensibly giving up their Germany headquarters with around 100 jobs likely to dissolve by the end of August, and they are closing their warehouse in Nuremberg. This move has generated significant attention. ORA is imported and distributed by the Emil Frey Group, along with many, many excellent and dedicated dealers who actively promote ORA. Yes, including the very popular ORA 03 model. And this continues. The central warehouse moves to Amsterdam, will be doubled, so you practically also have an advantage from it, because you will of course get vehicles faster and also later obtain spare parts more quickly. Just to complete the picture, since some topics are always circulating in the media, and how we always strive to keep you informed about all the facts we have, ensuring you receive accurate updates. Yes, 2.87 meters is the wheelbase. That's substantial and also allows for the creation of 2 different battery sizes. That means the Aurora starts at the base as I believe pure, then with an electric motor on the front axle, 150 kilodov, 204 HP, and a solid 300 Newton meters of torque. Then there's a slightly better equipped version. It comes in at around 44,000 euros, where you'll get a premium signal, and other features. But even the base model already offers a lot in the interior. Extremely well equipped. You need to carefully distinguish, and then you always have exactly 67 kilowatt hours of battery capacity on board for your use. Yes, here with the top model, which is around 53,000 euros and basically has everything included. You have, I believe, 3 colors to choose from: white, steel gray, and this purple. Then you have 2 electric motors, one on the rear axle, one on the front axle, each with 150 kilowatt, 204 horsepower, and then together, of course, around 600 Newton meters of impressive total torque. Now you'll be asking yourselves, Chinese car, wasn't there something about charging? And here ORA actually has a clear and comprehensive answer just for you on the passenger side. Here, charging is done with AC, 3-phase, 11 kilowatt. This is not always the case with all Chinese vehicles. And DC, then during the rapid charging process, I couldn't locate a precise or exact specification anywhere. I don't want to misquote anything from the data sheets here. It seems that the small battery charges from 10 to 80% in about 36 minutes, and the large battery, like the one we have, with 86 kilowatt hours, charges in 43 minutes. That might be the only thing that could bother some people when they travel long distances once, twice, or 3 times a year, that they have a slightly longer charging time. And it's even better that with you, we will also do a consumption drive in a second video, including a charging check, where we charge from 10 to 80% at the HPC fast charger to get the exact values. How much is the peak load? And these are all valuable pieces of information that you can expect from us.
Oh, matching outfits were your idea.
That was quite a coincidence. I thought to myself, when I saw the purple one this morning, it really matches my outfit for the day I had planned out before I left the house today, right?
Absolutely.
Yes, let's take a look under the front hood together, where unfortunately, ORAC somehow unfortunately doesn't have a frunk for us to see. A frunk would have been nice because on one hand, we might have had a bit more space to store a Type 2 charging cable, so we wouldn't have to mix it with our clean luggage in the trunk, especially when it's dirty, wintry or rainy weather outside, preserving the cleanliness and organization of our belongings. But hood lifters, chapeau. Decent insulation because there's an electric motor underneath, chapeau. And that's ultimately what really defines this excellent build quality in the end.
Absolutely, it flows seamlessly here, like with the ORA 3.
The paint job is top-notch, the panel gaps are perfect. I have to say, the Chinese are showing us a thing or two in car manufacturing these days, don't you think?
Oh yeah.
And when we get to the interior, Stefan, so I have to tell you, well, I would say let's see how the hood sounds, shall we?
3, 2, 1.
Snap. Before we get to the trunk, I promised you that with the 408 HP Beast and its impressive 680 Newton meters, I would also take the time to show you how the spoiler deploys in all its glory. And that's super awesome. It means from a certain speed, or you can also do it manually with the sport mode. Do you have a nice proper fries counter here, Stefan? Or, well, that means, especially if you're at an American fast food restaurant, you can nicely lay down your route during the loading break, right?
Absolutely.
Exactly. When you close the car door again, it retracts automatically for safety reasons every single time. But it's kind of such a brilliant and outstanding feature, which, like back then with the Panamera and still today, really creates a very distinctive and unique look. Wouldn't you agree, right?
You wouldn't really expect that from a vehicle like this, would you?
Much more exciting than the 20 kilograms of downforce from the rear spoiler is probably the trunk for you. It opens completely sensor controlled. You simply hold your foot underneath and then the trunk slowly opens by itself automatically. Yes, hatchback look, but unfortunately sedan body. I find that a little bit of a pity, don't you, Stefan? It would have been better otherwise.
Yeah, it could have been higher, bigger than expected.
Because in principle, we have here, I think, a loading hatch where most items will likely fit very well and facilitate the loading process efficiently. But if you have something a bit awkward, then also a bit might be a hindrance. Yes, very, very well equipped on the inside with all the latest amenities. Here with a carpet. When we lift it up, we have discovered a small compartment where we can store a Type 2 charging cable or a Schuko emergency kit. Amazing mat here. Every single thing is carefully and neatly lined with felt. But this harder plastic is more difficult to shape, making it less ideal. As you can see, it's usually enough to use it maybe just once, where you'll always find a few light signs of wear and tear over time. I think anodized aluminum is always truly great, but where Aura really makes an impact, look here. See how nicely it is lined with carpet felt for a more refined finish.
That's quite fancy.
Right? Most manufacturers then always use this really hard plastic. I always find that a bit of a pity. And the 333 liters of trunk space can be increased further by either folding down the rear seats or adjusting the arrangement to gain more room. The possibility then here. What you can do is lay down perhaps 40% on the passenger side, and then on the driver's side you can put down the remaining 60%. This makes more room for both large and small items. But somehow I have this strange feeling, oh look Stefan, see, you can also fold down just only the middle part here. That's undoubtedly brilliant to have a pass-through here. You can easily see it here for skis or maybe even a lengthy item you might have. That means here are 40-60, so 40-20-40. Foldable so that you have a relatively nice flat surface here to expand the 333 liters to 1045 liters. As for the electric system,
Goes electric.
that's the way it should be. Here with the push of a button, that's also a nice soft close. Here what the tailgate causes, I must say, I really like it a lot. Yes, we have a very, very large glass roof here. We don't have any roof rails or any frills, so at the editorial deadline it was unclear if a roof load would be possible or not, which left us questioning the car's overall suitability for transporting external loads. But I do know very well from internal talks that they will definitely try their best to fully understand that better. The same applies to a trailer hitch in the same way. At the moment it's not available yet. Whether it will come will surely be checked later, because that's an important criterion for you when buying a car, whether you might have a small towing capacity or alternatively the option to transport luggage on the roof. Stefan, I hardly dare to show the interior.
Oh sure, he's handsome.
The viewers will be so surprised by the excellent quality here, they'll say once again that we always talk things up way more than necessary with such enthusiasm, but it's just beautiful. Look, here are 2 slices connected with a film. That's already a certain value, which we hopefully will find again in the interior noises that we are going to measure. Yes, otherwise just take your time, take a thorough look, and let it fully sink in so you can truly see how high quality Aura, how to make a door panel, because up here this is faux leather framed with a seam. Then we have a nice plastic line here, and below it is an LED light, adding a pleasant touch to the overall design. Then here again faux leather, also with such a seam transition, nicely padded here. Then a decent handle. Yes, it might be plastic, silver painted, but it feels valuable. Then the window lifters, mirror adjustment as it should be, and yes, with all due respect, down here is a bit harder plastic, but at least it looks valuable thanks to this graining. A big bottle of water should easily fit comfortably in here, but surprisingly it doesn't. There's somehow a felt, a rubber, a carpet missing so that nothing rustles and nothing rattles here. Let's be honest and straightforward. We want to try out the Infinity sound system with you right away. But that's already kind of with this color here in Cognac Tobacco. It's kind of like Hermes style, think, because it really has that high fashion vibe.
That looks pretty fancy, I must say.
How much attention to detail did Aura put into the interior here?
Ja, das sieht so mega aus, ne?
When you sometimes see it, when we present new cars, everything is just certainly functional and in the right place. But somehow it also seems just a bit out of place, doesn't it? Yes? And that's what makes Aura different. We have a head-up display here on board where we can also receive smart drive functions, meaning assistance features, and also the appropriate traffic guidance for navigation. We have a sophisticated and modern driver display that is nicely split into these 3 round instruments. I think it's really well done. Also here with a golden highlight where we have battery information, speed, assistance system, and here again some additional information. We have a multifunction steering wheel with haptic buttons, and we also have a quick selection button where we can practically and very easily switch between normal and Sport Plus mode accordingly, allowing for a seamless driving experience. In the interior we used faux leather, but it's high quality and soft to the touch, and here in the middle we have a large 21.9 display seamlessly integrated into the dashboard, enhancing the user experience with intuitive design. Where we have quick selection options, but also the classic tiles, which we commonly know from smartphones or tablets to conveniently control various individual functions. One significant highlight for me is that Apple CarPlay Android Auto Wireless, which functions without any cables. I'll show you that again later, of course, during the drive review. And here on the dashboard, we've got this soft plastic material with a faux-like stitch design for added elegance. Then there's this shining and attractive golden metal. The only thing here that looks less premium is the plastic right here with the vents, contrasting with the overall luxury. Then here we also have some very, very high quality switches for the air conditioning system too. Heated windshield and rear window, vent control, meaning you can adjust it very, very smoothly with such a soft, adjust everything with a rotary dial. Here, in the mid-range and also in the high-end variant, you also have seat ventilation along with the standard seat heating in the base model, where you also have seat heating in the rear and a massage function, which is really, really great. Quick scroll function also for the temperature. And here we have another gear selector where we can basically control all the gears. So from Eco, Comfort, Sport Plus, and of course Individual, where you as the user can naturally make all the individual adjustments to fit your specific driving preferences yourselves. By the way, the GT variant accelerates from 0 to 100, I believe in 4.5 seconds, right, Stefan?
Yes, what was to be proven?
We'll of course time that with the Draghi later, and at 180 km/h it stops. Yeah, but I think it's perfectly all right with a limousine like this, don't you agree? Thanks, though with 408 HP, 200 would have been nice.
Ja, das sollten sich eigentlich mal alle angewöhnen.
Yeah, then we have basically here a nice dark brown sky. I also find that quite nicely done with a glasses compartment, with a sun visor with a split. Panorama glass roof. Why split? We know that, for example, from the Tesla Model 3, because we have a glass pane here in the front, and then the pane here behind goes all the way down to the rear shelf with glass. So that is already very, very well made. Here we would of course have to do a heat check in high summer because I kind of miss a bit of a blind here. Where we sometimes realized when the sun shines in with high outside temperatures that we have this double hot plate effect.
Ja, das ist nicht so cool auf Dauer, ne?
Yeah, that was really awkward. The view through the passenger door reveals the value, naturally offering more insight into the situation. Some of you might possibly find this particular dock to be a little bit more annoying. Feel free to write that in the comments. I find it very, very elegantly done. And right here with this faux leather trim, I must say, everything is soft, everything is chic. This is very, very valuable, and especially when you have harder plastics like here, or maybe also in the glove compartment, which is lined with felt wonderfully. Used, it looks much, much more valuable than this cheap delivery plastic.
Yes, absolutely.
Here in the front, we basically have USB-A twice, plus a 12-volt socket and a nice large compartment where we basically also have a storage option for perhaps a small lady's bag or even a men's bag. Where's my man purse?
Lost in the carry-on.
Oh, too bad. We just have cup holders here, but we also have some additional beverage holders on the door for your convenience. So we basically have the option to create an inductive charging surface here. But the unfortunate downside is we unfortunately can't really fit such a large smartphone in here, which is quite disappointing.
A bit harder for you, right?
Yeah, now you're really starting to get it back. So it's actually more reserved for smaller or more compact smartphones then maybe, which makes sense. Here is a nice big storage compartment where, for example, our interior noise meter can snugly fit in without any issues at all. Our GPS receiver from Draghi also goes nice and deep, where we can store some essential things conveniently out of sight, keeping the area tidy. What I particularly like is this two-part design, because it truly gives the passenger a convenient chance to reach in when the driver has their arm resting here, making it more comfortable for both. Yeah, let's talk about ergonomics. I've honestly got some really great ergonomics here, truly. That means I have a nice armrest here, left, right. I can actually have a really firm grip here. I have a steering wheel, adjustable in both height and distance for optimal comfort and ease of use during any drive. The only thing for me, being a 1.85 meter tall guy with long legs and 99.9 kilos, is that the seat could go a bit lower and a bit further back so that I can sit more comfortably without feeling cramped. I have to be honest, but we'll now take a look at the back seat to see how much space we might have there. Now, with all the exciting things going on, I completely forgot to show you the seat. That's basically it. And here we have a nice sporty seat, kind of hinted at here. For the shoulder straps, which we obviously don't necessarily need in an electric car. But we have fantastic lumbar support, we have decent thigh support for you. So in traditional sports, perhaps the shoulder pads should be a bit more clearly defined for better protection. For men with broad shoulders like me, there's the integrated headrest and the electric seat adjustment. Then on the driver-passenger side, also including seat adjustment. We don't have that here, Stefan, do we? No.
Not really.
What's going on? But what's also cool is this felt here. He feels a bit like high flying. Yes, it's quite classy. 1.85 mil. 1.50 ma, 99.9 kills in the back. Here with the recessed door handles, I think it's cool that they pop out. That is also, I find, a nice quality. Back here in the rear, I have a very, very nice seating position for one thing, with a comfortable headrest that I can adjust. I also have relatively enough space here, although at my height of 1.85 meters, the distance to the window is relatively small. I have plenty of space in front. The passenger seat is adjusted to the B-pillar, and I have a center armrest here. We've recently noticed that the cup holders are exactly where my elbow would be. I would prefer that if a third headrest is included, the center armrest isn't shortened in length. But the entire surface can then be folded all the way down, allowing you to have simply more options here for greater versatility or flexibility when needed. Here in the middle, we just have this small bump. I don't even know why it's there at all. There's likely a small battery pack in there. We've got USB-C, USB-A port here. I would have liked USB-C at the front too. And here we have very, very beautiful turbine-like vents. Then again, back here in the rear, I think it's very, very nice to get some air. What I find absolutely brilliant is the child seat ISOFIX mounts on the driver's side and the passenger side. Again, we have cognac-colored straps, just like in the front. And we have a nice rear seat back cover entirely in faux leather. Not all manufacturers do that. Really nice here again with a bag. I have to say, ORA here with the dark brown headliner, it's just all so stylishly styled. It's all so carefully designed and beautifully put together. And you just get a pleasantly different car here, I find, for, you can't really say 41,090 euros, Stefan. That's actually for such a big car already an attractive price, right?
Take some time to think about it. It's really exceptionally good.
And I'm really excited about that. ORA has now kept the car back for a residual value determination by Schwacker, where the leasing rate will end up, well, I mean, with a bit of luck, it might even drop below 300 euros a month, right? What do you think?
Can happen, yes. No, we're not taking a steamboat trip on the Rhine now.
I've never driven past Mainz before. Yeah.
We can validate that from the other side next time.
All right, I'd say we've shown you everything from the outside of the ORA 07. We've shown you everything from the inside. Now, I'm genuinely super excited to try out the remarkable ORA 07 with all of you and let those astonishing 408 horsepower fly majestically around the great city of Mainz. We're excited to say that we kicked off with the ORA 07, and we want to highlight both the strengths and weaknesses of this impressive vehicle in an in-depth test drive review for you today. By the way, I checked, so either I misread or there's an error on the spec sheet, but the maximum charging peak of the ORA 07 is at 88 kWh DC.
I think that's so great.
But nowadays you can relatively easily adjust that with software, because I think for many of you it would be quite exciting to be able to charge quickly, right? Is that what you want, or how do you find 88 kilo of peak with a 400 volt system? For a 4.87 meter limousine, the turning circle is really important, and the fact that the Aurora, despite its all-wheel drive and front motor plus rear motor, has a turning circle of 11.50 meters, I find it very, very agile. And this, of course, has a significant and very positive impact, particularly in bustling urban areas and densely populated city centers. Much more important than the turning circle for some of you folks is being able to park properly and efficiently in tight spaces. We want to simulate that here at the store by putting it in reverse and getting support from the ORA 07, designed to help with tasks, ensuring reliable and efficient operations each time. Then also with a rear view camera with guidelines, which work very, very well, making parking much easier and safer. And on board here in our enhanced top version, we also have the innovative 360-degree camera systems, which can then change once again in different functions here as well. Can change, where we then also have intelligent views and more, where we can also walk around the car, observing it from different sides to understand its features. Just to double check thoroughly if we're not hitting a curb or something similar around here. And what the ear always has in store for us, Stefan, is...
Rings and rings.
Yes, because he definitely just wants to earnestly warn us not to ever wreck this very beautiful car, right?
Yes, exactly.
We want to measure the interior noise with you at 50 km/h. 61 decibels, that's a decent value. We're accelerating to 70. .63 and 64 decibels, and we want to hit 100 again. 70, 71 decibels. So those are good values, though we have had better ones with other vehicles before, and we are striving for even better results.
Yes, exactly. Double glazed all around, but everything is still within the normal range, I think.
Exactly, and I think you also have to appreciate that it always kind of depends on the route you're driving, what kind of road surface. This part here is a bit rougher. Sometimes you've got oncoming traffic, sometimes you don't. Well, I actually feel like the car is better insulated than the numbers indicated. Because here on the country road, we also have tight curves where we can push the 408 HP through a turn, and it handles it well. The all-wheel drive might push a bit over the front axle, but it also has very nice direct steering and a firm yet comfortable suspension, which brings joy, especially when you're driving serpentine. I've activated Draggy so we can measure the performance. Additionally, the electronic assistance systems are working seamlessly, providing extra stability and ensuring an even more delightful driving experience, especially on these winding roads. We go to Sport Plus. Stefan, let's do a launch control procedure. Give a signal, please.
3, 2, 1, go!
408 HP, it really takes off. 50, 70, 90, 100. Wow.
That was really sporty and quite elegant.
So I really have to say I'm totally and positively surprised by everything here. That one's got a real punch, right? Yeah.
He moves well forward.
And in the end, we mustn't forget one important thing, dear Stefan. We're actually weighing over 2 tons here, which is quite significant.
Yeah, that's a lot, but it pushes forward well.
And above all, it takes off like a catapult sometimes. That kind of reminded me of our American car maker, right? Yes?
So easy.
Let's pull over to the right-hand side of the road now and then take a moment to carefully check out what's currently being displayed on the Draggy device right here in front of us on the car's dashboard. Because the Draggy shows us all the values, of course. 0 to 100 in 5.46 seconds. Sure, it went up a bit. We got 0 to 60 in 3:59 and 0 to 50 in 3 seconds. Those are decent numbers, right?
Absolutely, and it's really fun.
Pretty awesome, the Infinity sound system, right?
I was just about to say fat.
Enough. Wow, worth, right? This is fun. And do you know what the advantage of the Infinity sound system is? No, it's kind of like all this faffing and messing about. Yeah.
Oh God, yes.
What I promised you is to also show how Apple CarPlay and Android Auto are integrated seamlessly and wirelessly into the vehicle. We have Apple CarPlay on board here, and that's obviously awesome because you have your apps integrated into the vehicle effortlessly. But what's even cooler is this, Stefan, take a look. I switched to sport mode and it's just divine 408 HP of pure power. So folks, if you're considering the Aura 07 and it makes sense financially, you'll find it's not just about performance, but also about integrating your digital life with ease. Think for about 53,000 euros, I believe, the GT, right?
I think I would be there too, yeah, certainly.
Well, sure. What would that do to the leasing rate? Maybe like 100 euros, 50 euros? I'm not really sure at this moment. Yes. It's kind of worth it, right?
But yes, it is fun.
Oh, yes! We've now arrived on the highway, and I think that this could also very well be considered a particular discipline, especially for the Aura 07, which is built to handle such driving conditions remarkably well. We've got great travel comfort here, right? Absolutely, yes. What does your seat of the pants gauge say?
I'm sitting very comfortably in here. I also have nice lateral support, also because it's a bit sportier, and with the all-wheel drive, you can drive a bit more performance-oriented. Sometimes things aren't tossed around here.
And it's just nicely firm yet comfortable. Sure, you do notice a bump now and then. There he goes over elegantly, but what impresses me the most is simply if we're going around 110 here and then step on it, we get punch. 120, 130, 140, that all goes by very quickly. Those are already showing some small sports car genes, don't you think? Mm-hmm. And even when we stay within the lane here, we don't experience any swaying. He does it very, very well. It's very direct in the steering. You have a nice steering angle. I still remember when we drove the Ferrari there, the 296 GTB.
Yeah.
When you steered left there, it immediately veered left, yeah?
You got pushed right over.
But here you almost have that sensitivity, like with a Porsche.
Yeah, really nice.
So it's really quite well done. With the ORA 07, even in the base model that starts at €41,990, you already have many advanced assistance systems and very helpful aids on board, ensuring a comfortable driving experience. That means, for instance, in our ORA 07 GT, we also have the Smart Drive included, offering a suite of advanced features to enhance comfort. This Smart Drive basically ensures that we keep the center of the lane very, very neatly and precisely in a very carefully, meticulously and tightly controlled manner. And it also makes the steering wheel nice and tight. I really, really like that, because there are some vehicles that have way too much play in the steering. What does it mean? Smart Drive distance control, cruise control. Basically, we also have on board the lane keeping assistant, the steering assistant, and we can adjust the distance to the vehicle ahead, providing a safer, smoother drive and making long trips much more comfortable and enjoyable for the driver. He's really supporting us very, very nicely here on the display. Stefan, if you could zoom in just a bit, he clearly has all three lanes under his surveillance, so to speak. And that essentially gives us a bit more confidence that the camera system and the radar sensors really do perceive the surrounding traffic to the fullest and most comprehensive possible extent in their capabilities. We have the blind spot monitor, we also have a lane change assistant, and it supposedly even adjusts the speed accordingly. Unfortunately, we haven't been able to observe that just yet, because although the traffic sign recognition works relatively well, it's still not completely error-free either, Stefan, which is something we need to keep in mind. Gotta be honest, right?
Yeah, it sometimes takes a bit, and you can overlook things too.
Now, it's, for example, also 100. I had set it to 120, but now it didn't take the speed here on the adaptive cruise control. So there's definitely some room for improvement here, Stefan. Maybe it's a user error, like we didn't tick a box on the onboard computer somewhere, don't you think? Yeah, something simple like that could be the issue, which we overlooked.
Anything's possible nowadays.
You can't entirely rule it out. The Euro 07, it tempts you to take a curve quite gracefully at 60 or 70, doesn't it, right? It just feels so smooth and responsive during the drive, don't you agree? Yep. Nothing squeaks here, nothing jerks, the car sits properly on the ground. Maybe it understeers just a little bit, because of the front-mounted engine design. He seems to be more like the leading engine, so he's not rear-heavy, but rather front-heavy in our opinion, based on his overall performance and the consistency he has shown. But it's just fun, isn't it? It's just a lot of fun to drive. And with the sport seats and the proper tuning of the springs, I have to be honest, it's absolutely and undeniably awesome when you experience it. So I just saw, did you notice the 20 kilos of downforce from the spoiler too? Yeah.
Yep, he pushed that down nicely. Absolutely.
Earlier we took the curve normally, that was different.
Different, yeah.
But actually quite different, really. Abschlapplupfer, let's go ahead and get to the conclusion with the ORA 07. I have to say, when I saw it for the first time, I thought, wow, this is a unique design, different from what we usually film, and it captivated my interest immediately with its distinct charm and creativity. Sure, it might appeal to a specific target group, but the target group it resonates with, I think, can certainly expect a premium car that stands out and isn't driven by just anyone, making it a unique and exclusive choice for those who seek something special. You get, I think, an interesting perspective from the outside. You get the highest quality materials available on the market from the inside, and you get a tight, comfortable car which offers very, very good performance. Sure, the front wheel drive, 150 kW, 204 PS, that's more like Stefan the Cruiser, right?
Yeah, that's more like one to go with the flow, right?
Those who want more performance will feel right at home in the ORA 07 GT with its 408 horsepower and 680 Nm of torque. And if you basically want to spend more than €41,900 on the base model, you're probably leaning more towards the GT, right? What do you think?
Yes, that's more likely with the GT, with the all-wheel drive, over 400 horsepower. Yeah, definitely.
What we are waiting for, I believe, are interesting leasing and financing conditions. We'll have to wait and see where he develops. And I would say the only main weakness, although it's not truly a weakness for everyone, is actually just the charging performance with DC. So DC quick charging, right? Yes.
So 41 minutes, 1080 is certainly well above the typical average level we see.
So we always criticize this because, let's say, at the moment, 400 volt systems are what the ORA 07 has. Yes, actually, under 30 minutes, Volkswagen has now managed to achieve significantly through software updates in the group. And if we then think about 800 volt systems, again, the Kia EV6 or the Ioniq 5, which are perhaps in a similar price range as the GT version, then we're at 18 minutes from 10 to 80. And I have to say, ORA could really just step up and make a difference, right?
Yes, that is quite manageable nowadays with all those frequent software updates. Let's hope that something beneficial comes in the future.
And if some people say, well, I only drive long distances once, twice, maybe 3 times a year, and then I just take a bit more time, that's totally legitimate too. Well, you don't necessarily have to be the absolute fastest charger at the station, do you really?
No, that's just everyone's personal preference, really.
I think, if I may give you a recommendation, you should definitely check out the Zo 7 from the wide variety of ORA dealers located in various areas. Take it out for a test drive and then thoroughly consider whether what we've shown you here is indeed absolutely accurate and reliable in every single aspect, because I think this can be an exciting special vehicle for those of you who don't want to drive something so mainstream, who want something unique and are looking for a car that offers a distinctive design, premium features, and stands out on the road as an innovative choice that are so pleasantly different from many others, right?
Right, it's definitely an eye-catcher.
Unfortunately, we now have to say goodbye to the OR07. We would have liked to go a bit further, right? Yes.
I like that one.
Then I would say, let's talk to Aura so we can get him to join us very soon, so that we can definitely seize the perfect opportunity to embark on more enjoyable trips with him. We hope you had fun watching the video. Give it a thumbs up. Please check if you are part of the Drive Electric community. If not, we'd appreciate your support by subscribing. And then you won't miss the consumption drive with the charging check and maybe a nice road trip with the Aura Zo 7. Right, Stefan?
Oh, yeah.
Thank you very much for watching, everyone. And we'll definitely be seeing you all very soon. Your OLLI. Hey, Stefan. You know what I also find great about the Aura Zo 7?
That we did not hang any decorations up on the top?
No shark fin, no antenna, no nonsense, nothing at all, nothing whatsoever. So I really have to say, and on top of that, we get this great spoiler at the back, which adds to the excitement.
Yeah, use nice and firm enough pressure.